Hello, friends. It's Carla, your online doctor, with today's Live in 5. Today is Wednesday, September 2nd, and it is 5 p.m. Hong Kong researchers are reporting the first documented coronavirus reinfection 4.5 months after the primary infection in this particular person. The 33-year-old man was cleared of COVID-19 and discharged from a hospital back in April, but tested positive again after returning from Spain about 2 weeks ago. Now, he was found to have contracted a different coronavirus strain from the one he had previously contracted and remained asymptomatic for the second infection, which to me is very encouraging, right? Because if they're talking about reinfection, you certainly don't want to have it once and then get either sicker the second time or be equally as sick the second time around. So the fact that this guy was pretty much asymptomatic makes you even wonder how they even knew he had it. But the good thing, as I said, is that a mild infection, if anything, is encouraging despite the fact that there is this reinfection. Now, there are cases of people discharged from the hospital and testing positive again in China, but it's not clear if they contracted the virus again after a full recovery or still had the virus in their body from the initial infection. Of course, we're not getting a clear picture as to what happened there. Back in May, they were reporting 5 to 15% of people discharged from hospitals testing positive again. Now, one explanation is the virus still existed in the lungs but was not detected in nasal swabs. And other thoughts were low sensitivity of the test to detect the virus. So remember, the testing has improved over the few months, so there's no guarantee that all of this is reinfection or just bad testing that was not really picking up what was still there. They talk about people remaining positive on a test for months. Okay, potential, not everybody. I know people who within a month's time were testing negative. So it may just be the test. Okay, so again, I'm not saying it's not happening, but just keep that in your mind as a thought. Now, 2 European patients are also confirmed to have been reinfected with COVID-19, one in Belgium and the other one in the Netherlands. Now, these cases are fueling fears about the effectiveness of a potential vaccine. One report I read, which made me laugh, said vaccines are more effective in creating immunity than natural immunity derived from a real infection. Okay, are you seriously kidding me? The human body is way better at creating immunity than any vaccine ever will be. So if you've been infected, again, this is a novel virus, so we're not sure exactly how it's going to work, but if we're not creating adequate immunity naturally, the chances are we're not going to create long-term immunity from a vaccine either. So there's a lot of high hopes out there, and believe me, if you want a vaccine, I hope for you that it does come out. But clearly, if you've already been infected and immunity has been developed and will be long-lasting, it will be way better for you than if you get it from a synthetic vaccine. Now, to note, the European patients also have very mild symptoms with their reinfection. So again, very encouraging that these people are not getting very, very sick the second time around. Now, all 3 of these cases show different strains of the coronavirus, which is making doctors and scientists certain it's a reinfection. Okay, so that's where the certainty is coming in. And by a different strain, it means whether it's just off by a little bit of genetic material, however they're detecting the different strains, that's how they're confirming it. Now, again, how did they have the original strain detection from the first time around? Like, are they keeping our samples to know what type of virus we had? I can't imagine these labs where there's gazillion numbers of tests are keeping these for forever. Maybe in foreign countries. I don't know about the US, but again, would it be a bad idea? Of course not. It would be a great idea for them to be keeping our samples so that they can compare, but Who knows how that's happening? But the numbers are clearly very small cases of reinfection, and hopefully will remain that way. Again, if your people are asymptomatic, just like first time around, why are they even testing, right? So if you're asymptomatic and you've had it before and you go to get a retest because your doctor said you were exposed or whatever, and you get retested and you test positive, who knows? Could it be a reinfection? Yes. Could it just be that it never went away? I don't know. All right. Obviously, there's still a lot more we need to learn about COVID-19 immunity and what it entails and how long it actually lasts. There is evidence that T cell responses, not antibodies from B cells, are responsible for milder symptoms upon reinfection with other common cold coronaviruses. So hopefully that's going to be the case for COVID-19 as well. And it is appearing to be that way. Again, is it the T cell response that is creating that milder reinfection? Only science is going to let us know. If there is enough exposure and you look hard enough, you are going to find positive cases. But just because the majority of people are vulnerable to infection does not mean there is no immunity at all. Children may be less susceptible to infection due to cross-reacting antibodies, which may translate into young adults and teenagers as well, who as a majority present with milder symptoms or none at all. So all of that is really, really good, and we should always be looking at the bright side of this. Again, I'm not ignoring the reality of what's going on in the world. We just have to look at what's good and stop watching the media for all the fear mongering that they are introducing into your life. Because if it's stressing you out and freaking you out, don't watch it. Okay, hopefully I'm not that person for you. I hope I'm giving you a little bit of calm and common sense. Again, as I always say, continue to wear a mask, wash your hands, social distance, do all the proper things, but don't allow the media to scare the heck out of you. Okay, it's just not worth it. So on that note, I hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I will see you again tomorrow for another Live in 5.